Welcome to the Obesity Medicine Podcast with your host, Dr. Matea Rentia, board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. Here, we talk about a path to metabolic health, and we have real conversations about chronic weight management and living a full life. Just a reminder, I am a physician, but I'm not your physician. So everything that's on this podcast is for informational purposes, but please go talk to your doctor about what's right for you. There is no medical advice being given on this podcast. Welcome back to another Your Friday 5, but this time we're in a new year. Yay! I hope you all had a great holiday time. Hopefully you got some rest. And here we are now in the next few months when it is cold and dark and dreary. If you're in the Midwest or anywhere else where you have the 4 seasons, we're going to have to do a lot so that we don't get depressed. Let this episode give you some ideas for how you can take care of your nutrition so that you can feel better. We do know that there is a direct gut-brain connection that if you are eating foods that support you more, you will feel better. It's part of it. Not everything, but it's part of it. This very much so matters. A few months ago on social, I shared a tip that I tell all my patients, and I do this myself, and it helps people be so successful. So I'm going to describe it here, what I do, but I want to tell you there's a great video that I have with this where I literally show what my resource is. And if you comment under that video, the word prepared, you'll get sent a PDF. It is a killer PDF that's amazing where I have all of this written out and you can create it for yourself. I'm not even getting your email. It's literally just when you commented on social, it gets sent to you in a direct message and it's super easy. So underneath this audio, wherever you're listening, there's going to be a link. And if you click that, you just comment the word prepared underneath that video. And it's even, you'll see everyone else has commented on that video. So here's what I think you need to do to be successful with nutrition. You always need to have in the fridge 2 protein and 2 fiber that are good to go at all times. And here's the key. You cannot be in the middle of high hunger or urges and cravings or in the middle of a busy day and then prepare things. These things need to be 100% ready. It's not even, oh, you made the Greek yogurt with Hidden Valley Ranch powder and you have it in a big tub and now you need to put it into a small dish and you also need to get the veggies out. No, you have a container where you have a little ramekin of the ranch Greek yogurt thing and you have the cut veggies next to it. You just take it out of the fridge and you have it. I find you going old school to be the most helpful. So I buy this hard cardstock from Michael's. It's a craft store by me. I mean, I buy it in industrial amounts because that hard cardstock, it is perfect to put behind coloring pages. So you don't have the bleeding to the next page. And then my son uses these. We go through them in an industrial amount. But okay, so what I do is I write on this sheet at the top, B for breakfast, in the middle, L and D for lunch and dinner. And then on the bottom, snack. And to the right, drinks, and at the top, sweetener. So I have all the different categories that I'm going to fill out. And so under breakfast, I will write, what are the things that I like that are easy, that will give me protein and fiber? They don't have to be perfect, but they have to at least get those 2. Examples of this might be when I do, for example, I'll do Greek yogurt and then I'll do like a cup of frozen Costco wild blueberries. It is such a perfect combination. Remember, berries have a ton of fiber in it. Greek yogurt has a ton of protein. It's an amazing balanced meal. If you wanted to get more carbohydrates in there, you could put some Nutrail, which is a nut granola, on top if you wanted to get, again, more fats and carb in there. So there's always ways that you can modify it, but that's an easy one. The other one that I just love, and it actually is easy, if you take a piece of toast, either Ezekiel from the freezer, or I get this bread, it's called fitness bread, and it has a lot of fiber in each slice. I'll toast that, I'll do a little bit of butter, and then I will put on there a slice of cheese, some avocado, if I have cucumber, tomato. Again, all this stuff is always cut in my fridge. And I will just assemble that, and that breakfast makes me feel amazing. I might have some fruit next to it, again, depending on what my hunger levels are like. I have all these things ready to go. Or if I make a devotion mug cake, this is written on the fridge, and it is literally, I just look and I'm like, oh yeah, I could make that. Before I made these lists, even though the food would be in the house, I would forget the combinations that I could make. Who's opening the freezer every single time to come up with ideas? No one. So you have ideas for breakfast, for lunch and dinner. So I'm an equal opportunity person. For me, it's not like, oh, that's a lunch food and that's a dinner food. Frankly, I'll eat any food at any time. But I have on here, I really love for dinner. Sometimes I'll do cottage cheese roasted veggies, and I might have already made that on the weekend and I'm just taking out a handful to warm up. And then I might make some Barilla Protein Plus noodles, have that with some Parmesan. So the cottage cheese getting the protein, the veggies, and then there's even more protein in the noodles, but it balances it out. Sometimes there's this tomato lentil sauce thing that I make. And again, I have a handout for that too. If you go anywhere on my social and you comment the word Steve underneath any video, so Steve, if you want the recipe to that. But what I love is that it has lentils, it has a tomato sauce in it. There's carrot, celery, onion. So all of this together, it's very high protein and fiber. I will put it on a bed of spaghetti squash and I'll have that for dinner. Now, these things, you might be hearing these and you're like, Matea, that's super involved. No, it's not. Why? Because if I know I'm going to have this during the week, I will already have the spaghetti squash made and I have it in a few different glass Pyrex containers. All I'm doing that evening is putting a scoop of the red sauce on top, sticking it in the microwave, and then putting some cottage cheese next to it. Then I have this extravagant, amazing dinner, but I don't have to work at it because I decided that's going to be one of my protein fiber that I have good to go. And I always make sure to have one or two things good to go, or like an egg salad. It's easy for me to grab it when I need it. I don't need to think about it. It's written on the fridge. Under snacks, I have, again, same thing. It would be like raw veggies that are cut up that you would do with Greek yogurt and some ranch powder, fruit and cottage cheese. I really love that sweet and salty combination. I put on here things like protein bars, but I'm going to level with you, okay? Protein bars don't do it for me. So there's the brand Mezcla. I really love them and I do eat those, but I need to have something else with it. By the way, they're dairy-free, they're vegan, they're all the things, they're gluten-free. They have 10 grams of plant-based protein, but I need to eat something else with it. But at least it tells me, like, some days I'm a lot more snackish and despite balancing and doing all the things, I might be pre-period or whatever's happening. So those bars will be incredibly satisfying during that time. But I have it as an option. I don't do it often. The Devotion mug cakes, again, are a protein drink. Or right now, with it being cold, I am loving Devotion hot chocolate. I do about 3/4 of a cup of hot water, 1/4 of a cup of milk, just so that the water's not scalding hot. You put a scoop of the brownie batter in there, you blend it up. You can have it as is, or you could put some whipped cream or Cool Whip on top. I'm telling you, it is so satisfying. It truly tastes like it's hot chocolate. In fact, the other night I made my son his hot chocolate and then I made that version for myself, the Devotion one, and it was better. I'm not joking. I literally drank a sip of his and I was like, this is disgusting. That was the name brand one. Let me just put it that way. And I made it all nice for him. I'm not like trying to make things healthified. And I literally said, I like mine better. That's insanity. Anyway, so drinks and the sweeteners, all that kind of stuff. Again, if you want that handout, you can get it. You need things to be prepared. If you're someone where you have a ton of time, where like every meal, I'll never forget, I saw this social media influencer in the past and every single meal was, it must have been like an hour preparation. Of course, she was like a YouTube star, right? I was sitting there and of course I was mesmerized by these videos, but she literally was like baking pastries and stuff for the evening and everything was from scratch. And she would make a soup in the middle of the day, but it was every single meal was a new thing that she was doing. And if that's you, that's amazing. In fact, I'm going to bet that you actually have an amazing relationship with food and you feel great and your gut health is amazing. The rest of us that do not enjoy doing that all day long, you too still need health. And so if you have this stuff prepared, you give yourself a fighting chance. All right, I hope you're having a great start to the new year and we'll talk soon. That marks the end of today's episode, but if you're newer to the podcast, I want to tell you about something that we have, and it's a free podcast roadmap. So this is perfect for any of you that are listening where you want to be directed to very specific episodes. So let's say that you are just starting out and you want to know, what should I do right when I start on the medications? Or you're experiencing certain side effects on the GLP-1s, or you want to know what to do if you're in a plateau, or if emotional eating is taking over, or if hunger levels are high. So we have many different categories of episodes that we've talked about because there's a lot at this point. So if you want to be able to navigate that very easily, we have it broken down by category and also the episodes that are there, and we hyperlink to everything. So you can just click on it and find the episode, easy peasy. If you want that, you can go to rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. We'll have it linked right here underneath the show notes where you're listening. And you can go ahead and get that free resource so that it makes it easy for you to navigate, because I know that it's really hard when someone has an established podcast. I am such a podcast fiend. I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And when I find one that I love, but there's a lot that are out there, I am so lost. So I hope that you enjoy this free podcast roadmap. Again, the link to get to that is going to be rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.